Lindsay Lohan, porn star? It sounds kind of crazy. But when you're out in the street as a cocaine addict, you know, you will do almost anything to get the money for your disease to stay in action. Women, they do tricks when they run out of money. It's prevalent. They call them strawberries or berries. Men, they steal when they run out of money. You know, when you can't borrow anymore, when your job has fired you, you've gone through your savings, the savings of your loved ones, then you got to do what you got to do. And things seem perfectly sane for the addict in the middle of their use. Now, Lindsay Lohan, obviously, she's not a porn star, but a porn company has offered her money to pay for her treatment. Now, her logic when thinking about, I can't stay in treatment, judge, I can't stay in treatment, prosecutor, I can't stay in treatment, my own attorney, because I don't have the money to stay in treatment and I got to get out there to work. Now, I understand that completely because I've been in 17 different treatment centers, and the majority of them, all I could think about was on your mark, get set, how fast can I get out of there? And I'm spending most of my time thinking about excuses, things that made sense to me. Now, I had to go out and work. I had to keep my family together. Well, what ended up happening, every time I convinced myself of that and tried to convince counselors within treatment centers, I ended up not going where I wanted to go. Ended up back relapsing because they say anything you put in front of your sobriety, you will lose. That's true. I had to get out and work. I lost my job. I had to get out and bring my family, make sure they could be back together. I lost my family. I lost everything that I thought was more important than treatment. And I know maybe if I had just stayed that extra 2 weeks that treatment had asked me to do at one point, maybe I wouldn't have ended up in prison. Now, it doesn't make any sense to a Lindsay Lohan. It makes a lot of sense, actually, when you're in treatment and you say, well, I got to get out, I got to work. Well, how can you work and be in treatment at the same time? Doesn't make any sense. But to the addict in alcohol, it makes complete sense. And I completely understand that. Now, it's a joke for a porn organization to say that they'll hire Lindsay to pay for her treatment. Now, that's obviously is a publicity stunt because everybody knows that's not going to happen. What do you do in this type of situation? You know, family and friends trying to convince her to do the next right thing, stay in treatment, get in the program. She's got a real good shot this time. But again, you know, what are the costs of not staying into treatment? If you don't have the money, they'll lend you the money. You can borrow the money. There's all kinds of things you can do to stay in treatment. But the bottom line is if you don't want to get help, you don't want to recover, and your disease has taken over and is just now searching for some way, some crack in the door that she can escape from treatment and get back into her disease. Makes a lot of sense to me. And it happens to be a pretty sad situation.